Ready and action!
What's the matter with you, eh? What's the matter with me? What's the matter with you? And of course, paying tribute to the great Mel Blanc, who used to work at Warner Brothers. You won't hear his likes ever again, or even hear or see what that man can do, because he's an absolute genius. But speaking of geniuses, is James Gunn a genius? I don't know. You tell me, because the Superman embargo reviews all dropped yesterday. It's all gone nuclear. I tell you, this world is going absolutely out of its goddamn mind.
You know anything about nuclear fusion?
All right.
It's the survival of the human race, Pliskin. Something you don't give a shit about.
Mr. Pliskin, like me, has no idea about nuclear fusion, but I know a thing or two about going absolutely nuclear. Could the same thing be happening right now to Superman's James Gunn? Because that film's reviews dropped last night, and I tell you what, it's an interesting mix of good, bad, and maybe the ugly. See that Sergio Leone reference I brought in right there, or the all-time greatest Western? Now, before I get into the opening titles, which I know you love so much, do me a favor, get me up to 15,000 subscribers by the end of this weekend. I'm 200 shy of being there, and it's like so close, oh my god.
Yes, hallelujah, it's the video show. And now, the man the BBC calls
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to preface this video by saying the following. I've not yet seen Superman the movie from James Gunn's Superman, because I'm not seeing it until Friday. So until then, I can't say anything. But when I give my review, I'm just going to give a spoiler review altogether. But I have a friend of mine, very good friend I've known for a very long time. He lives in Eastern Europe, and he saw Superman yesterday. I don't know how he did it, but he works within the film industry anyway. I'm going to play you parts of his voicemail that he sent to me. I've got his permission, by the way, to use his voice, his review of the film. And he's a lifelong DC Marvel fan. I think he likes DC a little bit more than Marvel.
So I liked the movie.
Okay.
I didn't love it, but I liked it. Corin Sweat and Rachel whatever her name is.
Brosnahan.
Fantastic chemistry. And Nicholas Hoult was exceptional as Lex Luthor. I could have done with a lot less James Gunn humor.
The James Gunn humor, which I thought they were scrambling to remove from the film. But apparently Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, and Eddie Catheti as Mr. Terrific, are the sense of humor characters in this film. So that's good to know. Let's carry on.
I mean, I really didn't like that many jokes. But overall, it was a pretty solid movie, and I came out of the movie, I wouldn't say hopeful, but pretty happy about it. Especially given how Superman would work in today's world. I mean, it's not Man of Steel or Zack Snyder, but you can't make it like Superman the movie either.
Yeah, so he was doing an out-of-theatre reaction on his phone to me, which is really, really cool. So thanks a lot, mate. I'll be speaking to you much later on, and we can wax lyrical about your thoughts. My friend also said he did not rate the soundtrack too much. He thought it was a bit of a letdown, which is such a shame, because Hans Zimmer and Man of Steel was absolutely incredible. Well, look at that. Superman receives 71 out of 100 favorable reviews, and the shitty Jurassic World Rebirth aborted fetus only 50% mixed or average. So it's amazing that more people reacted negatively to Jurassic World with 54, whereas less people for Superman 42, and gave it a more positive response. Oh, I like this one from the rep. A fabulously smart and entertaining film whose flaws stem from trying too hard, which are the best flaws a film can have. Oh, come on, the rep. You sound like that TV commercial.
For the best a man can get.
80% from Variety, courtesy of Owen Gilberman. The new movie isn't dark. That was Zack Snyder's ambitious mistake, so much as it's a loopy, spinning, multifaceted story with genuine emotional stakes. That's why it treats Superman's powers as the most spectacular and least interesting thing. Yikes. Oh, here's the Boston Globe. This should be interesting. Seeing Superman save and work with more than just white people is refreshing. What? 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 I did not expect to see that from the Boston Globe. More than just white people. Holy shit, that sounds like a dig at Richard Donner's Superman. 1978, you know, the 70s, 80s and 90s, when the world was a saner place without the internet and people looking at their phones going, wow, Boston Globe, that is just absolutely hilarious, honestly. Again, when I step back and I think about this, because it's a more diverse film, as it should be. I mean, Perry White is now Perry Black, played by Wendell Pierce, very good actor.
I tell you, sometimes they can be a real couple of you-know-whats.
Fucking assholes. You're preaching to the choir, Riaz. Stimpy, don't you give me that look. You're gonna get it when your mama comes home.
Oh, man. Sounds like your wife is...
Bitch on wheels, you got that straight, Riaz.
So I don't mind that at all. Larry Fishburne was Perry White in Man of Steel. Nobody complained because Perry White is a bit of a C-lister in the Superman universe. With a cast this excellent, there's a capacity for something truly, truly super. Entertainment. Whoever wrote this article needs to go back and write some more funny one-liners, because you can't take Superman and then put it into a review and say, it's truly super. Oh. Here we go, the BBC. The first in DC's new cinematic universe starring David Corenswet is glib and flimsy. Comic fans will love it, but this curio feels like an eccentric sci-fi B-movie. Well, typically it's the BBC, because I guess this Superman isn't trans or LGBT or non-binary, because I bet you if he was, the BBC will be 10 out of 10. That's it, right there. We're done now. Oh. Now, Dan Merle, one of my favorite movie reviewers on YouTube, actually said a similar thing. Whereas he didn't hate the movie, but he felt James Gunn's humor is kind of like in there. It doesn't go away. It's stuck in there and it ruins certain moments. My friend in Eastern Europe said to me that Clark Kent's parents, you kind of yearn for Diane Lane as Martha Kent from Zack Snyder's universe, right? I thought she was fantastic as Clark's mum. Really, she was honestly so good. So I'm wondering now, when I watch this film on Friday, how I'm going to feel about seeing the parents here as they're portrayed by Pruitt Vince Taylor, and I can't remember who the actress is, but apparently they haven't got much of a role, but when they're there, it's different, shall we say. I'm not going to say much more than that. When I heard what I heard, I was like, oh my God, really? That's what they did? And Jeremy Johns, the all-time great GOAT movie critic on YouTube, let's rewind. Let's go back to Dan Merle quickly, what he said, which was, if you're a comic book fan, you will love this film. But if you're not, you'll walk out of the theater scratching your head thinking, who the fuck is Mr. Terrific? Why is Hawk Girl flying around with not much to do? And that's what I heard as well from Jeremy Johns. Hawk Girl hasn't got a lot to do in the film. But I suspect because we're getting the introduction to the Justice League from James Gunn, then her role will be more fleshed out in the Superman sequel.
I'm saying whatever your mindset is, if you have excitement or fear, the answer is yes. If you're like, oh man, James Gunn doing Superman, I'm a little concerned by that. I feel like there's going to be conflicting tone. Yes. Or if you're like James Gunn doing Superman, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see him bring that energy to Superman. Yes. Like either way, you already know if you're going to like this or not.
Now think about the costs of this movie. It's been confirmed already that the film alone cost over $300 million. You got $200 million on top of that, I'm guesstimating, for marketing. So already you have a film that is, well, it's got to make $1 billion to make this much back in the box office, right? Think about the math. It's just nuts. And as I've said to you before, my favorite maths is 36, 25, 36. But anyway, back to this video, folks, because honestly, it is just tearing my world apart. It's tearing me apart, to quote James Dean, because on one hand, you know, you got some really great performances from David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan. The surname my friend couldn't pronounce. That's what I heard from him, and I've seen it from everybody else online. They like all the aspects of the film. The humor it doesn't know when to let go of being funny. Crypto, the fucking super dog, apparently is good, much to my dismay. So what more can I say? Jimmy Olsen's very good as well, which is good to know. No mention of Sarah Sampaio as Eve Tessmacher. I mean, all legs and big smiles, but I'll be there, Sarah, cheering for you girls, so don't you worry about a thing, to quote Incognito and Stevie Wonder. But honestly, this is going to be interesting. I think personally, when I go and watch this film on Friday, I'm going to walk out of the IMAX thinking that was a very overly expensive CW film with some really good elements. This feels like a big, massive sizzle reel. So there is a story, there is high stakes apparently. What stakes those are, I have no idea. We got that Supergirl film coming out next year, starring the girl with Down syndrome, Millie Alcock. That's not me saying that, that's what other people have said. Of course, if you look at Millie's face long enough, you might be forgiven for thinking she does actually have that one chromosome too much symptomatic symptom, right? And again, we'll wait and see what her film looks like if James Gunn puts the humor in, because the humor is going to be there with Lobo, right? Played by Jason Momoa. So I think he might be the biggest draw of that film. Depending, of course, if people are still eager and excited to see a Superman film. I think the biggest mistake that I've seen with the marketing of this movie, they're showing too much of Superman saving people. They're showing a bit more of Mr. Terrific being funny and everything else. And I'm glad that Nathan Fillion is absolutely killing it as Guy Gardner, because that's great to hear. I'm glad he's not just a walk on and a walk out. He's therefore quiet for a significant bunch of the film, which is good to know. So I'm just left scratching my head, folks. I mean, 71 Metascore, critic. We don't give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes because they suck ass. But honestly, folks, wait till Friday. I mean, I'm sure some of you have been looking at the reviews already. You've made up your own mind. You're not going to watch it. You're going to stay at home and do something else instead. But no, just go and watch it. I mean, you can even go to the cheapest screening possible in your area and not worry too much. But I've seen some of the thumbnails from the usual suspects out there. Oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. If you're a die-hard Superman fan from way, way back, of course you're going to love it. If you're a normie, you might get invested in DC, or you might think to yourself, you know what? That was just another fun movie which I can watch on a Saturday morning. You know that Saturday morning cartoon which I used to watch back in the day? It has echoes of that in here, like the overall aesthetic about it. So I think that's a good thing, actually. Why not? Hence the cartoony vibe of the whole film. But on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you give it a massive nuclear like. And I'll catch you, catching me for the return of Iron Eagles, the next video.
I guess if there's a takeaway, it's a message for folks. It's good to be kind to other people because they'll have your back when you need them. That karma clearly came around. Yeah,
that was a lesson for me, really. And that this is like me being 100%, as raw as I can be.
To take life's greatest pleasures absolutely seriously. What am I talking about? Well, the AI pinup girl behind me will tell you everything you need to know that I am a man of culture. I'm not cultured myself, but you know what I like.